one of the other stats that we talked about, and I want to throw it to you, is we saw the stat the other day that said that Marcus Rashford is the most expensive player on the market per whatever this transfer algorithm brought up. And he's more expensive than Haaland and Mbappe, who are younger than he is, and I would say show way more potential. And Mbappe, as we know, he already won the World Cup at 18.
Right.
Do you agree with that? Or how do you think they got to those numbers, saying that Rashford is the most valuable player right now on the transfer
He's only
market?
a year older, I think, than those guys. Not that much, right? A couple years?
I think he's a couple years older.
I think it also, the way they calculate it is based on the league that they're playing in as well. So Mbappe's playing in the French league.
Holland's Borussia Dortmund.
Borussia Dortmund, and the Bundesliga is a competitive league, but it's not as... I mean, a lot of players come to the Premier League from the Bundesliga as sort of a development. So I think that has a lot to do with it. I mean, he's scoring goals against some pretty bad teams. They're basically like championship level teams in
You think the bottom of the Bundesliga?
Yeah, for sure.
I think we might get some Bundesliga hate in the comments.
You might.
But that's fine. But
that's fine. And the French league, definitely. I mean, if you're not outside of those top 5 or 6 teams, those teams are just not. They just get beat every week by PSG and by even like Lyon and some of those.
Marseille, pretty strong.
Yeah.
Lille has been good. I just thought that was really interesting because if you had to tell, if you asked me who was the most expensive guy in the transfer market, his name probably wouldn't be even in the top 3. I don't know. Marcus Rashford. It surprised me. I think Marcus is great. I think he's going to continue to develop. I actually just picked him up my fantasy team when I dropped off Pulisic because he's useless on fantasy apparently. But I just thought that was an interesting stat.
Yeah, that has to do with the Man United factor. He plays in a big club. He's earned himself a starting spot as a young player, and he's relied upon and scored goals and creates chances. And he plays in the Premier League. I think that's a big factor.
He does play in the Premier League.